Doesn't get much better than this. The final round of the season coming up for the final stage live here at Eurosport, and we still do not know who's going to be champion. We have our suspicions, however. Paphos is rally centre this time by. Yes, we're on the island of Cyprus. Busy day yesterday, some big scalps taken, more taken today on day 2. It's the run for home. What a sensational backdrop we've had here. Cyprus Rally in a spectacular part of the world. Sumptuous, you might say. Well, we don't have tourists alongside us. We have rally drivers, and they are focused on one thing. It is the title race, of course. 5 men in with a chance of winning it turned up here. I've got to tell you, right now, that number is diminished significantly. 9 minutes and 41. You saw Nasser Al-Attaya in our first live earlier on today, absolutely monstering stage 8. Sadly, he's dropped a cylinder, and it means the defending champion is out. Well, he joins a long list, does he not, of big names that came here expecting greatness. Hannon was the first to go, remember? Yes, well, we've lost others along the way, unfortunately. This was Hannonen's vehicle yesterday after just a couple of turns of action on day 1 proper. All over for the man who was going to decide the title one way or the other. It was either going to go to him or indeed his efforts hand it to somebody else.
Right hand bit tight then, and optimistic with the speed, and went wide, rolled once, and then stuck. There was a lot of big rocks and stuck above those ones, and the rear arm was broken, so boys were really trying to get it out, but there was a lot of spectators, but still the arm was broken, so we gave up, and that's it.
Real shame he's back in Super Rally, but out of contention for the title. What about Thierry Neuville then? Yes, attention focusing on the young Belgian, and particularly for Peugeot. All their hopes stacked on this man in the absence of Bouffier. And sadly, well, he the next to go. Big puncture and battery issues. It was the alternator, it turned out, and as a result, car died on the road section. Neuville on his way home. So, who's left? Well, Mikkelsen is one, and he's absolutely storming here, kicking up a storm, as you can see, in the dust of the mixed surfaces that we're dealing with. He's had his luck. Well, it's how you ride your luck that counts. That near big moment could quite easily have gone into a ravine. He was spared that. I can tell you that he has hit a rock on stage 9, lost a lot of time. Kopecky hit the same rock. Krudder actually went well on 9, finished in 3rd place. So Mikkelsen dropped a whole load of time, but so did Kopecky. So a kind of even Stevens. This is how they were up to day 1 then. Mikkelsen, Al-Attaya, Kopecky, Loix, and the rest. But by the time we started today, boy oh boy, we were just wondering who was going to be next to get bitten by this amazing event. Stunning, isn't it? Well, we picked out some greenery earlier on for you, but we've been racing through quarry basins, and that's what we're about to do right now. Our second run through Anadiou, 19.15 kilometers of it. A lot of downhill, a lot of very quick stuff. You can make up a lot of ground. You can also get caught out big time here. Freddie Loix, I've got to tell you, has had an engine issue as well. Today. That's on stage 10, which has just been completed. He's dropped to 30-odd seconds, which means that he is now away from a podium place. Sandell, who won stage 10, has put himself right back up into that position, and looks like he's got a cushion. Kopecky, well, he only managed the 5th quickest time on Stavros, that's stage 10, the penultimate stage, and Kopecky now trails Mikkelsen by 1 minute and 27.3. Mikkelsen as well as Kopecky hit the same rock 9 kilometers into Gialia, that's stage 9, both very lucky to get away with it, but there is no doubt about right now the man who is in the driving seat, it isn't Nasser Al-Attiyah, I'm afraid to tell you. A little bit of an off-road moment here. Now we're actually wondering, cheekily, whether that was just Dakar Cyc being used. Got a spin towards the end, but this was the first run through the mixed stage 8 we saw this morning. Sadly, on the road section later on, dropped a cylinder and Al-Attiyah is out. So there it is, the gap after stage 10. Mikkelsen is our leader. Kopecky leading the championship, coming here, don't forget. It was all going to be how Hannanen ran. Kopecky must have thought, well, maybe his time had come here, but Mikkelsen is the man in the driving seat. Win this, he's our champion, and he's got the cushion to do it. Trouble is, he's got to get through stage 11, and it can tear you up. So we'll take a break. That's how we stand right now. Another problem as well for Nikos Thomas, who we saw earlier on, who's the lead Cypriot. He's also out, I'm afraid. 2 stages to go. Goodness gracious, this is your course profile then. This is what we're dealing with. Climb at the start, then as soon as that crest is hit, look at that descent. And then it's uphill with a little downhill section to the end. 19.15 kilometers of sheer adrenaline. Welcome back. You're live on Eurosport HD and Eurosport International. Welcome to those of you watching in the Asia Pacific region as well. I'm Carlton Kirby, alongside me Andrew Coley. We have come down to the last stage of the last rally of the Intercontinental Rally Challenge. We still don't know who's going to take the title. We suspect it may well be Andreas Mikkelsen, which will be a huge, huge relief and indeed surprise to some that such a great potential has been realized here. We will see. So the sun is setting. We saw this yesterday, and Freddie Loix will be starting behind Kopecky. He's had engine troubles, so watch out for that. Bit of a change in the order then.
30 seconds.
Had engine troubles trying to get here. Arai is about to get underway. You can see from the shadows or the sunshine just on the tips of the trees here that the sun is extremely low. It will be an issue here as it gets into their faces, particularly on the downhill section, on some of the twistier parts. We've got Andrew Coley, as always, alongside us. Andrew,
10 seconds.
What a way to finish the season.
Oh, I'm so nervous, it's unbelievable. I'm as nervous as if I had to do the job myself, Carlton. It's a good job I don't. And yeah, this is a whole season's work has gone into this for all the teams, and it gets decided now live on the TV. Fantastic stuff.
6 left long over 40. Tightens crest late, 3 left plus. And 6 right plus, long over crest. Break 30, tightens keep in 3 right. Late, 3 left plus over crest.
Here they come into the sunshine, the voice of Dale Muscat. Carrying Dossier Arai. Well, just a quick blinder then before they get into this one. He's looking a lot more comfortable, Arai. Taking some gambles, I suppose. He's part of a development program, not only for the vehicle, but for the rubber as well, the contact patch with the surface. So it's a tarmac tyre that they're adapting to gravel here, and it seems to be going rather well. Getting more and more comfortable, it seems. Started off very quickly with a 6th quickest time on that super special. In theatre, he's been hovering around the top 10. But went 7th quickest on 9, not bad at all.
No, he's currently lying in 7th overall. Of course, this is the R4 in Spec Impreza, as you say. I think if he finishes where he is, he'll win the IRC Production Cup, so that would be a good result. Incidentally, the Group N leader, which was Nikos Thomas, if you remember, in the Evo 9, has unfortunately retired.
Yeah, real shame about that 2 stages ago. So you saw him. Little smiley lad through this very tight section in town here. They're all in the churchyard, probably the shortest route if you do get it wrong here. All right then, once again on full attack here. We're just waiting to hear or see Freddie Loix just get confirmation on that he is going to start. We think he will be just after Kopecky, so there's a slight change in order there. Carla on the road next. Mathias with Peter Goebel alongside.
Opens 20. Long 4 left over crest.
Well, getting counted in. He's taking his time. Just engaged gear and ready. Carla, a little bit in the shadows these days, the veteran. but he's had some solid performances here. Been going very well, in fact, regularly within the top 10. I think he was only outside the top 10 on 2 occasions during this rally. That's a credit to him.
He's 6th at the minute. Arai is around 50 seconds behind him, but he's around 3 minutes behind Carl Kruder, who lies ahead of him. So Carl not got too much to gain or to lose here. He's got a minute's buffer back to Arai, so we'll see how he goes.
Yeah, he had intercom problems, the young lad, of course, earlier in this rally. Lost connections and loose connection, and as a result was driving a couple of stages actually from memory from the recce. That is impressive.
It was impressive indeed. So looking at Carl's times from today, 13th, 8th, 11th, 8th and 7th. He did say it was slippery and sweeping. A couple of the crews as well said that by now their tyres were pretty knackered. You know, this is the end of a three-stage loop. One of the tyres is completely on tarmac. They're normally carrying 6 tyres, so they can put 2 new ones on either the front or the rear, but a couple of people have had punctures, including both the championship contenders, Kopecky and Mikkelsen.
Yeah, had to drive. It was 9 kilometres into the stage, and I think they were quite lucky that it was only 14.8 kilometres in length, because both of them were able to drive through those 5 kilometres and just nurse the tyres home. Both lost time. Mikkelsen's face at the end of stage 9, oh dear, he was absolutely racked with pain and regret. And then when told that Kopecky had also had the same problem, he'd beaten his time, he was joy unbridled, and then he thought better of himself and said to himself and to us, oh dear, I don't mean to sound happy, but I am.
30 seconds he increased his lead by him, and in fact he did well. Kopecky lost around 40 to the stage winner, which I think was Hannanen, who of course is super rallying. So Kopecky lost around 45 seconds to that. Mikkelsen, of course, he had a rear puncture instead of a front, and that's just that little bit easier to cope with, so he went to the end of the stage and only lost around 14.
Rioja is our co-driver here, Martin, and Carl Kruder, the man he'll be calling for.
So Kruder's car there off the line didn't have quite the same revs as Carla did, unless we've got an in-car camera. That maybe the microphone's mounted somewhere else, but there are different specs of these S2000 cars. They all meet the rules, but you've either got the very latest spec or maybe a slightly older Evolution. There is now a full-on Evo 2. I think we're probably on the Evo 3 of the Fabia. They've had wide track, narrow track, more power.
It was always the complaint of Guy Wilkes, actually. There was never quite on the full kit. Of course, it massaged or helped to oil his move to Peugeot in that respect.
Like, of course, this year Mikkelsen as well as used an absolutely bang-up-to-date Fabia S2000. So I'm told by the Skoda UK team that it is the very latest spec of Works car. So it's going to be a fair fight between him and Kopecky later on. He does have a good buffer, but as we've seen, this rally has thrown up some serious surprises, and we've got a very low sunshine as well, just to add something extra into the mix.
Yes, to the big downhill sections here. Yeah, Kruder, equal third on stage 10, which was a super run, don't forget, for him. In fact, yes, level with almost as quick as Hannanen, in fact. So did very well. Hannanen more than happy at last with the vehicle. Just a shame he binned it so early on. I think he would have been champion in waiting. As a result, that sort of threw it wide open, and which you can't be said. Oh, dearie me.
The juddering you can hear there, yeah, that's where the wheels are just locked up, so he's braked just a little bit late there, and you can hear the tyres squealing. The gravel rubber, of course, much easier to lock up on tarmac. You can see some of the black marks in the road there too on the rough surfaces.
It's the ultimate test, this. Total mixed surface, as you can see. A lot of concrete repair work has gone on some of the curb sections here, just to make things a little bit safer, and why not? They're using them to the max. Nice
and early on the throttle there. Kruder was out of that corner as well, and we're coming back to Sandell, who's another guy, Carlton, who I think as the season has gone on has really got on top of his Fabia S2000.
Yeah, he was level third with Kruder in that last run. In fact, I beg your pardon, in stage 10 he took it, did he not? Absolutely brilliant. He was level third on stage 9. So yeah, taking 10.
Well, he's third overall at the minute, and this will be his best IRC result if he finishes there. If you're looking for anything other than Skodas, you need to be looking for Toshi Arai. They lock out the top 6, which I also think will be a record. Yeah, remarkable. Well, they've come here, they've had a full programme, been great supporters of the IRC this year, and we thank them for it. Yeah, very much. Also Peugeot and Proton as well. Proton not here this weekend. They're contesting the final round of the Asia Pacific Rally Championship, which they're hoping to win the drivers and or the manufacturer's title. And of course Peugeot, they chose not to send Bouffier. You know, looking at the way this rally's gone, Carlson, I mean, he could have been in the fight.
He could well have been in top and tail this season, taking the Monty and Cyprus. That would have been a huge credit to him. And they could have made up the advertising posters as a result. Made themselves, you know, a little bit more happy with their season, perhaps. Sandel looking slightly ragged here. He's absolutely full on it. He's got a bit of a cushion in third place. He's had a huge battle with Freddie Loix, but he's not holding back.
Now, listen to him when he works the engine. If you've watched all 4 stages, you'll know there's a couple of guys here who are learning S2000 cars, and Sandel's high in the revs the whole time, going down very early in the gearbox, keeping the revs up and keeping the car where it maintains its power.
Yes, and balance indeed, and he looks very well planted here. Super work by absolutely wonderful, tugging away at the sequential box and just heading up. Oh, lovely stuff. It's a shame we're not going to see Nasser Al-Attiyah, Andrew.
Yeah, if you watched earlier on today, Al-Attiyah was rapid. I mean, at each of these events we have a Colin McRae flat-out trophy for the driver who most embodied Colin's maximum attack style, and I think it would have gone to Al-Attiyah for me. It might still do. They gave it last time in Scotland. They gave it to Nikara, who retired. So I mean, maybe they'll do that. But possibly Sandel, best event of the season. Looking back through this year, Neuville has won the flat-out trophy 3 times, so he may well win the overall trophy for the year.
We'll see. A lot of these spare rocks knocking around the place. You just have to drag one in and it can hamper those behind you, and that's precisely what happened on stage 9 here. Well, Arai's still topping it there. He did look comfortable and rather smooth, didn't he?
Sandel not through to that point in the stage yet. I reckon Sandel will take that. It's just that previous corner, we could see there was quite a big cut, a lot of gravel in the road. This is a very quick section. Watch on board now for a moment.
Peaking out at around 129 kilometres per hour. Absolutely stunning. Lovely dance through there. Here is Hannanen. Who else? Master at work. What a shame he's hobbled his challenge and indeed his run for the championship title race here.
Current IRC champion, he's also the SWRC champion. He's about to lose one of those titles. The IRC title is going to somebody new in around 10 or 15 minutes time. So
yeah, he's taken the Super 2000 title this year, don't forget. Could have been 2 titles quite easily though. Just a lapse of concentration in his own admission very early on in this rally, and yeah, he's just kind of settling himself down for the golden stage, which will be tomorrow, which is Sunday. We'll be live for that and hope to have your company for it. Don't forget, we'll be on Twitter, so you'll be able to drop in some questions and have a long conversation with us. It's a race for money tomorrow. Not quite the same frisson you might think, but it'll be solid entertainment, we hope, along the way. At the 3.8 mark, Sandel indeed 5 seconds quicker than Arai, Carla and Kruder are doffing their cap to the Japanese driver at the moment, but Sandel, yeah, looking very, very cool. Hannanen, yeah, as he said, it's taken a while for him to find his rhythm here. Couldn't really quite understand it himself. I think after the anger and disappointment of going off on stage 2, naturally, I think focus was the issue.
Indeed. Now, you mentioned Kruder a moment ago. It looked like he was losing time, Carlson, on the split. So funny. On the next split up, he's up on the times. It looked like he'd lost a lot of time on the way to the first split. He's also on for his best ever event in 5th place.
Look what might have been. Look at that, almost driving blind in the setting sunshine. Suddenly the vision comes back. The camera retina opens up as well to give us a clearer view here. Yes, see it deep into the 120 kilometers per hour here. And look at the pickup speed, amazing.
He's a great driver, Hannanen, and I think he's earmarked for bigger things personally. Of course, Chris Meek went on from winning the IRC to become a works driver in the WRC with many, and I think Hannanen should be on the shopping list of VW and anybody else who's considering coming to the WRC. I think you'd also have to say that Mikkelsen this year has earmarked himself as a future star without a shadow of a doubt. He's turned his career around, Carlton, with this year's championship.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Jan Kopecky, he's always been kind of, despite winning 2, been a bit of a nearly man. Yeah, and hard to say that when he's actually championship leader, but you always felt that Hannanen was going to be the man who stole it from him, or maybe Neuville. Or maybe Mikkelsen. It's all those maybes. There's too much of that about him.
Well, when you consider that Kopeczy's done every single round, that Hannanen had only done 6, he would only have got the minimum 7 scores he needed to score for the championship if he'd done this event. Kopeczy on stage now, of course, has been the bridesmaid in the IRC for the past 2 seasons, beaten by Meek in 2009 and Hannanen in 2010. Is he going to pick up that first place losers trophy? It's kind of the hardest place to finish, isn't it? Second place. It's a great result, but it's going to be disappointing for him.
It is, and he's lighting it up now, but is it all too late coming into this final stage? The gap between himself and Mikkelsen, it's 1 minute and 27. He's going to be quick, we know that, Kopeczy, but he's also not going to break the car, I don't think.
No, I think he knows here, well, we all know, he can't take 1 minute 27 out of him, no one can.
It's going to need something disastrous for Mikkelsen here to deny him the championship this year.
So I can't see Kopeczy pushing hard, you know. I think he will. I think he'll settle for finishing the stage and hoping that he gets a bit of misfortune in his favour.
It's been some time, isn't it, since Petter Solberg brought joy unbridled to the Norwegians. The whole of Norway probably watching us on Eurosport HD, and if you are, I've forgotten what Norwegian is for hello, but hello anyway. You're waiting for your boy. He'll be with us shortly. Nasser Al-Attiyah, incidentally, has retired. He had dropped a cylinder, I'm afraid, on the road section after a stunning performance earlier on today live on Eurosport, where he won this stage. It was stage 8. That was the first run through Anadiou. Well, you won't be seeing Al-Attiyah going cross-country again, I'm afraid. Not yet anyway. Perhaps in the Dakar, if somebody can just help him over there, that would be terrific. Still no drive confirmed for that, but he will be in Citroën in the WRC next year. Kopeczy then. Yes, he's kind of bringing this one home, but it's not going to be the title, I don't think. Boy, oh boy, he's full on here.
He's not doing too badly. He's only a second down on Hannanen, but that's only 3.8 kilometres in, and it's this stuff here where you'll see the difference in the commitment. The high-speed, narrow stuff where if you're an inch off, you take a wheel off the car. So you see he's taking it just slightly steadier. The commitment isn't there that we were seeing this morning from, certainly from Al-Attiyah, who was frighteningly committed.
Well, a big wake-up call, don't forget, not only for Kopeczy, but also for Mikkelsen, coming on stage 9. Both hit a rock, and both coming through on the rim. Seemed that Mikkelsen just handled it a little bit better, maybe happier on the squirrely stuff, I do not know, but he certainly got even more time on Kopeczy as a result.
Yeah, I mean, his was a rear puncture, much easier to manage than Kopecky's on the front, so he was lucky from that respect, but yeah, both hitting the same rock. You know, it's millimetres by which these things are won and lost. Yeah,
Kopeczy possibly nudged it into a damaging of the rear wheel place along the way, if that makes sense. Huge, beautiful vista on this gorgeous country. Yes, if you're thinking about getting some late winter sunshine, Cyprus surely has to be on the list. Amazing place, very, very welcoming people. They quite like the Brits, which are also handy. There we go then, on board with Kopeczy on this phenomenal downhill section. Shall we listen in?
Levá 7 krátká, 20, pravá 6, váže pravá 6, bacha. Pravá 6, váže pravá 6, bacha. 40, pravá 10.
Well, we just had a brief moment of worriment, but of course there is a 4-minute gap between Kopeczy and Mikkelsen due to the absence of Nasser Al-Attiyah. So I think we can breathe a sigh of relief there, in case you're wondering where on earth is Mikkelsen. All of you Norwegian fans out there. Yes, he's coming, don't worry. A ride then across the line, 15:14.
That's faster than this morning by quite a margin, almost 20 seconds quicker than this morning, so it may be that the loose sections have been swept, or Arai might just be a little bit more on it this afternoon. We'll have to wait for one of the quick S2000 guys to come through.
There we go then, Mikkelsen and Flown finally catching up with them. We had to send the helicopter back an awful long way to pick him out. But we've got him now, and this, speak it quietly, could well be our champion coming home here.
Well, he's got that big Union Jack on the roof, of course, backed by Skoda UK.
This finish, you are the champion in production.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm so pleased, but quite tough rally, isn't it? Especially last section is very, very tricky, and tarmac, gravel, so have to change the mind, but quite tired, so cannot change the mind, so it's quite difficult, yeah.
Congratulations.
Give him his due. production, not bad.
I think he will, yeah, production championship, which is great. But back to Mikkelsen, as I say, that big Union Jack on the roof, but also the Norwegian flag as well. Skoda UK got a little bit of stick for signing Mikkelsen at the start of the year. I don't think you can complain about not the way he's driven this year. You know, they were joking in some of the motorsport press in the UK that we'll give him a UK driving licence if he wins the championship, and he is possibly going to win it in around 10 minutes' time. He's got a little way to go. Fingers crossed.
Did you just see the time there? This is a man who says he's actually driving well within himself. He said this earlier on this section. He said, yeah, I'm feeling relaxed. We're not absolutely at the maximum, but we're still going quickly. That is a man who's gained some confidence. I think Scotland did a huge thing for him mentally.
Well, you know, there's the saying, isn't there, getting the monkey off your back, and that's very much the case. How many times this year did he nearly win an event? There were some super close battles, and he just couldn't quite secure it. And Scotland, his drive was imperious. He made no mistakes whatsoever. He wiped the floor with everyone, and that, you know, hopefully has opened up the floodgates.
Wonderful on board. You can see just how smooth he is as well. This is a man with great vision. You can be that smooth if you're confident down the road.
He's driving nicely here. You know, he's slightly earlier on the brakes. You can see he's not going down the gearbox so hard as Sandell. You could hear Sandell was revving the hell out of the engine. Mikkelsen's not doing that. He's just nursing the car home. He's got to drive it hard or it won't work, and the pace notes won't work. So he has to continue to push. It's a hard balance to make, but so far, so good.
Here comes Carla. We'll have a chat with him in a moment, but we just stay, of course, with Mikkelsen. Well, I don't know what that message, right? But it's probably cheap B&B. Who knows? But live here on Eurosport, yeah, I think you can get close to the beach, to be honest, and away from the quarry. Yeah, the Goats taking a run away from Mikkelsen at the moment. Is he running towards this championship title? Let's just have a brief word with Carlo as we keep an eye on Mikkelsen here.
How was this last stage? I think this was the difficult stage of the whole rally, but we go very careful because we have a lot of space in both directions. For us, it was a nice rally. We are happy to be in the finish, and yeah, it was a nice day.
Thank you very much.
Solidly in 6th place. That's where he will finish. Had the cushion and too big a gap to Kruder.
So I said at the start of the show how nervous I was. I've had a message from Skoda Motorsport saying that's why Andreas is driving the car and not you. And I think probably as well the fact that he's a hell of a lot faster than me, Carlton.
Yeah, he might tell you if you ask him. Loix indeed will start after Mikkelsen. He'll be coming shortly, but he does have an engine issue. Freddie Loix wants to drive it through just to finish off. I suspect he as well, with 2 minutes and 43 on Carlo, 43 seconds on Kruder. He may well believe that even with his engine issue, he can come home and finish in 4th place on this round.
I wonder if they've dropped him back in the running order so he doesn't affect the championship fight. If he was on the stage and he got in the way of one or the other drivers or caused too much dust for them, it may be that he's going to take a couple of penalties, start the stage late and save us the championship fight.
There we go. Kruder now about to have a word, the Estonian.
Thank you, thank you. Almost nice finish. I think 5 kilometers before the end I had a really big hit in the front right corner, so I don't know what's wrong over there. I think it's a puncture, so I lost a lot of time over there, but I was coming flat out. I didn't want to. I know Loix had some problems, so I didn't know can he continue or not, so I need to put.
Looks like he's on a bit of a bouncy castle here, Mikkelsen.
This is a hell of a piece of road. He's, yeah, as we were saying, back with Loix now, of course, with his engine problem. But yeah, Mikkelsen, little way to go. They found a nail in his tyre. No. Well, that's seriously misfiring. He's lucky if he's got a couple of cylinders there. So getting back to Mikkelsen, they found a nail in his tyre. 1 millimetre more and it would have punctured. That was from the previous loop. So, you know, there's, as we say, anything can happen in rallying, and I'm just hoping that he gets to the end of this stage in one piece.
Well, I hope somebody's saving that nail, because you'll gold plate it and wear it round his neck, I imagine. Beautiful, beautiful. Looks like Armageddon here, doesn't it? With all this smoke being kicked up in the sunshine. Battles fought throughout the year, and goodness me, that was a bit wide.
I think that's the same line that we saw Alataya take this morning on the replay that we didn't quite see enough to see.
Yeah, we did ask ourselves questions, didn't we, whether it was a planned cut.
A planned cut. So Sandell coming down, he goes 1.7 seconds quicker.
Sandler coming home, he's driven brilliantly here, and it's a podium place here, third on this rally. All credit to him. Staying with Mikkelsen. Don't forget his gap is 1 minute and 27 over Kopecky. Here's Patrick.
But you're sure to finish in your first podium of the year.
Yeah, it was a really good rally, and finish on the podium in the last one was really good. So big thanks to Pirelli, and now I just cross my fingers for Andreas because he's so worth this win now. So I really hope for Andreas now.
Okay, thank you.
Look at that view. It's biblical. And keeping it Scandinavian from one Viking to another here.
He's quickest as well, Carlton. He's quickest at the 12.3k split. And I think Sandell, what he said there, wonderful view, but what Sandell said, that just shows you how well regarded Andreas Mikkelsen is. Very narrow bridge here. I better take it very carefully, and he does indeed.
Careful but quick. That's the watchword here. Oh, never been more pleased to see a Union Jack in the hands of a foreigner. Wonderful stuff. Here comes Hannanen just to the end in the dappled sunshine of the finish. He'll be into the shadows and the questions in a moment, but we're watching Mikkelsen as well on the left of our screen, the man who would be king.
Proper time from Hannanen there, 25.3 seconds quicker. He's now fastest on the stage. Not relevant in terms of the championship fight, but a great time all the same.
Oh, it's lovely that we've sent the helicopter for the entire run of Mikkelsen, and why not? Lovely to pick him up early. Hannanen will be having a chat and presumably thinking about what might have been, could have been the title for that man. Took the Super 2000, of course, this year, but it could have been this one as well, had it not been for that just momentary lack of concentration and ill fortune.
You signed the best time, 25 seconds gap, so I guess that you're happy for that?
Yes, of course, very happy with this.
So what is now the big plan? You will wait for Andreas?
I think there's so many Norway people, so if we drive one game more further, and we can say congratulations for him, but he made a very good rally, very good weekend, so he deserves this one.
Thank you.
There we are. He well deserves it. So many more Norwegian people who want to speak to him first, he says. They're going to have to queue up for this point.
Oh, you know, I mentioned it earlier. He's really, for me, turned his career around. He was in the WRC with a lot of money for a while. Then he dropped back to the Norwegian Championship. He then appeared in the IRC with a Fiesta last year. And now he's with, you know, the Skoda UK team. He's done 18 rallies this year. He's won the Italian Gravel Rally Cup. You know, I just think he's come of age, Carlton. He's a weapon on both surfaces.
He's grown up. It's as simple as that, to be honest. He had too much too easy, a lot of people said, and maybe the lack of success earlier on paid dividends for him. Big dip there. And look at Kopecky. Well, clearly at the finish, not fully lit. We're on board with Mikkelsen here. There is Kopecky. Yes, and why would you just destroy the vehicle with such an amount to make up? 1 minute and 27. He knew that he was never going to make that time up on this stage. And so as a result, he's just got to keep it sensible and wait to see if something bites Mikkelsen. Let's hope not. So Kopecky coming in. Don't forget, we'll have to wait around about 4 minutes for Mikkelsen to come here. A little bit less than that, one imagines, with the speed he's carrying.
Wait, Carlton. He'll be sitting at that stop line, just waiting to see whether or not Mikkelsen appears.
He'll be the first to congratulate him.
He will indeed.
Yes.
He will indeed.
Well, this is not going to be much of a happy interview, I'm afraid. Here we go.
Jan, for the moment, you have the second time of the stage, but I guess that you have to wait for Andreas now.
No, I think, you know, it's definitely coming on the first place. So, okay, it was good season for us. This scoring point system in the last two rallies, you know, it cost us first place, but okay, same for everyone. Andreas was very lucky in the last two rallies, and he's the champion.
Well, there you are. Slight complaint now, I think, or at least a reference to the point system.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree that Andreas was lucky in the last two rallies. He's lucky that the point system is the way it is. He's driven the last two rallies absolutely brilliantly. Yes, you know, there's a point system that's to try and get the teams to come to the end of the season. Everybody knows how it works. You could also argue that Kopecky, I'm afraid, wasn't quick enough in San Remo and Scotland. You know, if he'd won this rally, well, he'd have wiped the floor with Andreas.
What if Freddie Lux had won San Remo, for goodness sake?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, there's so many questions that you can ask, to be honest, towards the end of the season, but there's only one answer, and it's being provided by this man. Kicking up a storm here, Mikkelsen is bringing this one home. Cagey stuff. Andrew Coley, the Norwegian flags are out. Oh, there's a nice landing flag there as well. And what about that? 4.1 seconds, he takes the stage. That's the way to win it. How's about that? A happier man you'll be hard pushed to find. And to be honest, I'm absolutely delighted for him. I think you should wear a Union Jack all the time. What do you think?
Oh, fantastic, Carlton. What a brilliant institute. Look how pleased he is. I was up Scotland when they won. Wonderful.
For the season.
Oh my God, I could never believe that this would happen coming into this. Of course, it was a big dream, and it's true. I am champion this year, and it's not only me, it's the whole team. What a year. It started off in Monte Carlo, not so good, and we ended up here as the winners. And what a good feeling. Congratulations.
It's why we do this.
He couldn't have put it better, Carlton. 250 yards into Monte Carlo, he ripped a wheel off and gave all the critics a reason to say, he shouldn't have signed him. And now at the end of the season, here he is. He's won the IRC. He's come of age. A brilliant driver. Olaf flown as well. Never forget the co-drivers. You know, without the co-drivers, these drivers are nothing. It's two people in the car. It's an absolutely fantastic result for them and the whole of the Skoda UK Motorsport team.
Two big scoring rallies, of course. Scotland and Cyprus have done it for Andreas Mikkelsen. He came here fourth in the table, don't forget, and the tears are falling here. Oh my goodness, Andreas Mikkelsen, he has come of age.
Some massive moments in your career, some massive highs and lows, and this is surely the greatest day of your life.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know what to say. It's so much energy behind this. The whole team, everyone around me, and it's very emotional right now.
It really is emotional. We'll let it go. Stop there.
Colin Clark asking the questions on behalf of us and Rally Radio. Credit to them as well. They've done a superb job this year. Our close partners, of course, during the IRC. There's not really words. Getting a bit choked up myself here, Andrew.
Yeah, a bit of a Murray Walker moment. Just brilliant. You know, we've followed the championship all year long, as you know. We've been to it with 4 events live. I was in Scotland at the finish ramp when Skoda UK took their first win with Mikkelsen. The joy within the team was just wonderful. Congratulations to Kathy Slay, Paul Evans, Andy Rogers, Legs, as he's known, whose birthday it is today, who helps coordinate the Skoda Italia squad that run the car for Mikkelsen and Flown. It's a great result for them all, Carlton. I'm really pleased for them all.
It was my birthday a couple of days ago, Lex. You'd never got a pint or a congratulations.
A bit busy, I think.
I think he is. Oh dear, he's going to run out of pens here, I tell you. Fantastic result. What a way to end the season. It all had to happen, didn't it? At the very, very last. Amazing. Final stage of the final rally of this championship season. And Andreas Mikkelsen crowned. Away he goes. Goodness me. And he's got the he's got the superstar smile as well. Petter Solberg will be jumping off the wall as well. Spent a lot of time with Petter along the way, and he'll be as pleased as anyone in Norway for the success this boy has produced. Freddie Loix then coming in, popping and squeaking all the way round. He's not got the best of machines underneath him. He's been a superstar this year as well.
He's been. He could have won the championship with a very limited run. Him and Hannanen actually both could have run it with only 7. I think Loix might have done 8 events, but just a great job by all of them. But the best job by Mikkelsen. That picture there at the end, Carlton, 2 thumbs up, sitting in the car. He's fought for the title with all year, crying at the end of the season. It's just, you know, that's what you'll remember from this year. It's just brilliant. I'm chuffed to bits for them. I really am.
Fantastic. Mikkelsen taking the stage and taking the title. Here's Freddie.
Freddie, what a difficult last loop.
Sorry, yes.
Absolutely right. That's something. Let's hear from
What a difficult last loop for you. You had an engine problem. What exactly?
We don't know exactly what's happened. In the second stage of the last loop, we had a misfire in the start, and we finished the stage like that, and the same in the last one. So it was quite difficult, yes.
Thanks.
Fairly going into that stage a little bit late, we think, just because you were concerned about blocking the road.
We'll take ourselves a commercial break. If you'd like to join us on Twitter, it's Carlton Kirby, CARLTONKIRBY, or
Andrew_Coley. We'll see you in a minute.
Welcome back. Well, we're just hanging around because there's a none too small matter of Jean-Michel Raoult, who is looking very good for the two-wheel drive here.
Two-wheel drive here and also in the championship.
Yes,
I think
exactly.
Carlton's in a Renault Clio R3. He's been on a few of the events this year and showed great pace. So I think it's a worthy win for him as well. A couple of worthy champions. Dust hanging a little bit more now. Look, we can see he's not got far to go. Just a few minutes left.
Yeah, there's only the helicopter. I think there's a car just in front of him, actually, by the looks of things, that hasn't quite settled still. The helicopter, of course, also kicks up a bit of a storm round here. It could be a film set, this, could it not?
If you're wondering where Harry Hunt is, incidentally, he broke the rear beam on the car. But when I spoke to him in Scotland, he said he was looking to do more of the IRC stuff. He said in the WRC there are no two-wheel drive cars to go up against. And it's hard to have a fight with no one but yourself. So we hope to see a bit more of Harry again next year. Maybe he can come back and try and show that he's got the pace to take his two-wheel drive title back. But this man, coming down towards the finish, is going to be the two-wheel drive winner this year, I think.
Yeah, Robbie Durant alongside Harry Hunt. It's a shame about that rear beam damage, but there you go. Raoult, I think, has had some sterling performances this year, and this is going to be another one for him. Yeah, 9th overall as well is a solid finish for a two-wheel drive car.
Yeah, it's a hell of a result. I mean, we have had some retirements, but it is, you know, he's got the speed to be up there. There are plenty of people behind him who are in Group N cars. There's a couple of S2000 cars behind him. You know, it's this isn't just on retirements. This was a good entry for Cyprus this year. And you can see there how they struggle to get the power down coming out the corners in quite the same way as the four-wheel drive cars. So it's okay on the fast stuff, but when you get down to low speeds, you come out with just the two-wheel drive, it's not so easy to punch it out the corners. Yeah, so an impressive performance.
They perform well going downhill as well.
Very much. Carry the speed, a little bit lighter as well. You can be late on the brakes.
So Lutaidis also coming here. Shame for Nico Thomas and Angelos Lozides as well. This is Lukaides, though, who is on board his Peugeot 207 S2000 with Savas Laos. Give them their credit. Driven very well as part of what was a real Cypriot challenge here further down the order.
We think it was his first time in an S2000 car, and it was clear from the onboard yesterday that he was struggling to adapt from the Group N car with the low down torque, where you just change up all the while nice and early, and you've got plenty of grunt to pull you out of a sideways moment. These cars need to be howled, they need to be driven hard, and he said himself, he said the car is a long way ahead of me, but he's made it to the finish. Good experience.
Good lad.
Doris, congratulations, you're the best local driver in this rally with a top 10 finish.
It was a nice run, and we made it back safe, and it was a good performance too.
Certainly was. So Raoult we wait for, so that we can crown our two-wheel drive champion as well. It's been an interesting championship. Harry Hunt had a bit more to do with this year, I think.
No, he did. I think in the past you could have said that Harry has won championships where maybe there wasn't so much in the way of competition. But when he came to Scotland and showed that he could produce the stage times against the top two drive guys, I think that's great. Again,
yeah, that shut a lot of people up.
Yeah, it did. It removes some of the criticism. You know, it shows genuine pace, not just budget. You have to have both, I'm afraid, in motorsport. You know, it's all very well.
Pace, budget, and opposition.
You do. Yeah. It's all got to be there. So, Tintarides coming down towards the finish line. He was one of our competitors last year as well. 10th on the stage, and he was 11th overall after the previous stage to this.
Wouldn't be surprised if it's the same vehicle, actually. Evo 9. They're looking very retro, aren't they, these days?
Still very cool, though.
Yes.
You can hear the throttle hunting there. That's a result of the way they map the engines for the anti-lag, so that the turbo keeps on spinning when you come off the throttle and increases the response when you go back on it.
No, the days of Tommy.
Konstantinos, how was this last stage?
The stage was nice. It was perfect.
Traffic, everything in the car?
Yeah, everything okay.
There you go.
It was nice, it was perfect. It's a super relaxed rally drive, isn't it? It's nice and perfect, car's perfect. Yeah. He's off for a few beers.
Yeah, we stopped to buy some papers along the way. Fantastic. Yes, and here comes Raul. This will be a happy man as well, I'll be bound. Got quite a nice livery here. You can't quite see it because black doesn't really do justice in the dust. If you know you've got a black car, take some cleaning. It's been a dusty old day today. I think the low-lying sunshine has probably highlighted the dust in the air that was there previously that we couldn't quite see. It wasn't illuminated to the same degree, just in case you're wondering.
So we're pretty sure then this is going to be the two-wheel drive champion crowned. We also think that Toshio Arai, as a result of his result here, Florian Gunon, who was leading the Production Cup, is not here this weekend, so we think Arai is possibly going to take the Production Cup, and of course Andreas Mikkelsen and Ola Floen have taken the IRC title for 2011.
Don't forget, tomorrow it's the Golden Stage. It's all for money and for fun, of course. 150,000 euros up for grabs, and that will be a big part of the budget for some of these boys, so they will be going for it. Both myself and Andrew Coley will have your company, we hope, for that. And we'll have plenty of time to catch up with your messages, your kind messages indeed, on Twitter. Craig Drew saying, Andreas Mikkelsen, very deserving champion. Thanks for all the great coverage, Eurosport. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, Craig. It really has, and what a pleasure it was to see Andreas Mikkelsen crowned, and the emotions just flooding out of the young man. Fantastic. Raoul then, and Magat. They've done it. Here they are, and the French tricolour welcoming them home.
You can see how pleased he is in the car there, throwing his head back as he reaches the finish line.
Jean-Michel, félicitations, la victoire ici en deux roues motrices, mais surtout le titre en deux roues
Well,
motrices.
congratulations, champion as well. Look at the tears.
It just shows how hard this is, Carlton. You know, the effort that goes in when you do a year.
He can't speak, he's just blowing kisses. Fantastic. What more do you need to know, actually?
That looked like Jean-Pierre Nicolas as well at the end of the stage there, leaning in to congratulate him. I might be wrong, but
it was his
like
dodgy watch, I think it was.
Fantastic. They get the flag out. They're just so pleased. You know, it's a long, hard season. It's expensive, and the commitment in terms of time and risk.
He's finally out of the car. You know, it's not JP.
You can see how much it means. It means as much to him as Andreas does to Andreas. You know, it's all about levels of budget and what you can afford to do. This is what they can afford to do. He's gone and he's won it. Look, he's so pleased. Wonderful. Fantastic scenes at the finish of the IRC.
Thank you to everything. I never knew this was possible. You know, everybody don't know what to say. I'm so full of emotion. Just thank you to everyone, tout le monde indeed. And there is JP. Oh dear.
I thought I recognised the glasses.
He's got the same nasal profile as his brother. Fantastic. Well, there you are. A win for the French, a win for the Norwegians, so a win for the Japanese as well. And we salute our boys up there. Give us a wave, fellas. Terrific job by the bird in the sky, and indeed by all our production crew. It's been a long old season. It's been a pleasure to have your company, and a pleasure as well to announce that Andreas Mikkelsen is our champion, Andrew Coley.
He's indeed. What a fantastic year, Carlton. From Monte Carlo all the way to Cyprus. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope everyone else has as well. Worthy champion, co-driver, driver, team, the lot. I think everyone's going to be pleased. It'll be a big night tonight in Cyprus.
Well, what a season we've got then in prospect next year. Yes, we wait for the ticks and the contracts to all be signed, but we'll be here, that's for sure. And look forward to your company again next season. Cyprus has provided one hell of a theatre for us, and what drama's been played out. It's been quite simply amazing. So, season drawing to a close, the sun is setting. I think a beer calls. Yes, who's buying? Andreas Mikkelsen. Absolutely. There's your overall classification here for this rally. Who else but Mikkelsen? Fancy going out as a winner as well. Kopetsky nearest man to him. And there the rest of the top 10. And wow, finishing 9th. Amazing. Lukaidis, top Cypriot, making the top 10. Arai there as well. All our champions in the top 10.
Yeah, great drives too from Carl Kruder and Patrick Sandell. I'm fairly sure, without looking at the stats, that those are their best IRC results to date, and against a decent field as well.
Drivers' standings, 1.5 points in the end. He won the big ones, points-wise at the end, and Mikkelsen is our champion. Jan Kopetzky has lost out. Hannanen finishes third after taking off. Loic's fourth, ahead of Neuville. You just couldn't have predicted it, although I did.
Skoda lockout as well on the top 4 in the championship, but Skoda lockout on the top 6 today, and the Fabia S2000 is very much the car to beat.
Who did I say I thought was going to be champion before this weekend?
You did indeed, Andreas Mikkelsen. There we are, Skoda showing their domination over Peugeot this year. Shame Peugeot didn't send Bouffier to the end here, but I think he wouldn't have beaten Mikkelsen if I'm honest.
Amazing. So much at stake, and yes, it takes prisoners, this series, as you've seen throughout. We've had such amazing drama. It started off with Monte Carlo, of course. Couldn't have been more dramatic, we thought. And then we had 4 of the closest finishes almost in rally history, all sub 2 seconds. Absolutely mind-numbing stuff. And we came here to the end, and the Golden Boy has won it ahead of the Golden Stage tomorrow. Don't forget, that's for money. We've sorted out the championships today, so we'll have some fun tomorrow and hope that you can join us for that. IRC live results, if you ever want to keep in touch with it, you can get it on your iPhone. Thanks to our friends at iRally as well, Rally Radio. It's been a pleasure to have their company along the way in what has been a hugely busy season. Tell you what, I'll shut up now. I'm Carlton Kirby. Alongside me, Andrew Coley. What a rally and what champions we've had. Look forward to more next year.